MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. Bet $50 at WynnBET and get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBET. Download the WynnBET app now or visit wynnbet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold hard cash with their over or under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone to join the SGPN group, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. And we're brought to you by IPVanish. IPVanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're offering 70% off if you go to IPVanish.com/SGP. That's IPVanish.com/SGP. And don't forget to check out our new Discord server, the perfect place to interact and sweat your bets with the entire SGPN crew and all the DJs. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. It is a nice early special today for the Home Run Derby. It is the 18th of July, and it's Home Run Derby. It's All-Star Break Week. So we've got a little three-man pod on the go early. My name's Malcolm Bamford. I'm in a red hot, almost, well, too hot for the rest of the country. The country's ground to a halt here. It's vaguely ridiculous because it's a little bit warm. But it's nice and sunny, which I'm sure it is every day where Mr. Munaf Manji lives. Munaf, it's not nearly as hot as it is every day where you are, but our country is just ground to a halt. We can't cope.
I'm trying to be nice about it, but I don't. It's I know we were talking about it offline, but 93 here in Texas is a typical day here in Houston and in Texas. So it's just another Monday morning here. Currently, it's about 10 o'clock right now. It's about, I think, close to 90 degrees here right now. So for the country to go to a halt for you, I think that's
I'm not joking. No one's allowed to go to work, and all the trains have stopped because it's a bit warm. I mean, how does that work? It's preposterous. Anyway,
the follow-up question then, Malcolm, is does it get that cold during the wintertime?
Not really, but if it gets a bit cold, we all stop as well, so it doesn't really matter. It has to be, there's a little sweet spot where we're allowed to do anything as a nation. Apart from that, we're buggered completely. So not the end of the world. Noah, how are you? Are you in the heat, or what's happening where you are?
Actually, I'm in the freezing cold basement because the Wi-Fi is struggling again today. So I'm hooked up to the nice good old Ethernet cord down here and in recording area number 2 that I don't normally like to be in. But the weekend was good. Went to like a indie ball minor league game for like a 21st celebration with me and a couple of friends. And then that was Saturday, and then Sunday, MLB draft stuff. Been doing it all weekend, and working on the last article that's going to be published like here in the afternoon. So
you've pulled a bit of an all-nighter, haven't you? I think that the last all-nighter I pulled was in 1995, the Summer of Love. I remember it well. But you've pulled one for the MLB draft this weekend.
Yeah, the lighting that I'm in right here is actually probably doing me a favor from the bags on my eyes, because you can't see my whole face because I'm right under whatever light you want to call this, a shop light or whatever. But yeah, it's just right above me, so bright, but it's saving me today, so that's a good thing.
We all appreciate your hard work, and I'm looking forward to read a lot of your draft stuff, because it doesn't really get onto my radar. Everything just seems so far away chronologically. With the MLB draft. So I know you're the man. So I'll be looking forward to reading that. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com, amongst other places, with the Twitter feed will be the place to find all of Noah's draft stuff. But yeah, it's the little break this week. We've got the MLB All-Star Game, but preceding that is the Home Run Derby. So we're going to take you through the 8 runners and riders, and then the first round matchups. We're going to pick some winners, and we'll try and dig out some exotic players as well. The place to find all of these exciting lines and bets that we're going to give you will be the WynnBET. The $50 to win $200 promotion is still live and kicked over there. $50 bet will qualify you for $200 in free bets. If you're betting baseball, which we are, the WynnBET have their reduced juice in baseball games as well, which makes it the best place to bet MLB. And a $500 or more bet on sports or casino will get you entered to win the ultimate fantasy football draft experience as well at Encore Beach Club. So download the WynnBET app or visit wynnbet.com to get started. Offer subject to change. T's and C's at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. And any advice you choose or not to take here, the place to use it is the Home Run Derby contest. Use the SGPN app. And we've got a free derby contest going over there. I'm going to say derby, not derby, all the way through this. So if you've got a problem with it, get over it because it's not going to change. That's on the app. If you haven't downloaded the app, use it. The winner gets $200, a gift certificate to get some fancy merch from the new store. Okay, I'll take you through the runners and riders, and then I'm going to get one of you two to take me through the rules because I don't know them. So the seeding here is based on the home run totals that the players have hit so far this season. So we've got Kyle Schwarber going at number 1, seeded 1. Pete Alonso is 2. Corey Seager is 3. Juan Soto 4. Jose Ramirez 5. Julio Rodriguez is 6. Ronald Acuna Jr. is 7. And Albert Pujols is 8. It's a bracket system, so obviously it's 1v8. So we've got Schwarber, Pujols, Soto, Ramirez are on the left side of the bracket. On the other side is Alonso v Acuna and Seager versus Rodriguez. And then either one of you can take it away. And what's the rule situation here? How are we winning this?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Malcolm, you just said it's a bracket, single elimination bracket system with 3 total rounds. In each bracket, the higher seed is going to hit second. So let's say Schwarber and Pujols are first. Albert Pujols will go first because he's the 8th seed, and then Schwarber will be following him as the number 1 seed. But it's pretty simple. Batters have but they have 3 minutes per round in the first and second rounds, and then it's 2 minutes in the finals. The clock starts obviously when the release of the first pitch. And the round ends when the timer hits 0. Also, maybe a lot of people may not know is that you can earn additional bonus time in the first and second rounds, as well as the finals. If a player hits a home run this season at Dodger Stadium of over 440 feet. I know last season at Coors Field, just because it is a hitter's ballpark and you're in altitude, obviously the ball traveled a little further. It was 475 feet last season, I believe, at Coors Field. This season in Dodger Stadium, 440 feet gets you an additional 30 or even a possible, I think, 60 seconds as well in the first and second and third round. So that'll be a lot of fun to see as well. So that's an added dimension that they've had when they did change the format. I think it was a couple years ago. When they changed the format for the Home Run Derby. And also, players are entitled to 1 45-second timeout in all 3 rounds as they kind of progress through it. But you cannot call a timeout during the bonus period like I just mentioned. So they are allowed 1 timeout of 45 seconds within the first 3 rounds.
So branching off of Munaf's point where like the highest seed goes first, an interesting nugget that I think I came across it on just some Twitter posts or whatever, but the back-to-back champion so far, like he's reigning champion, Pete Alonso, I don't believe has started for second in a matchup before yet. So he's always gone first. And the way that he has competed in this contest, he's putting up a bunch of home runs, and it basically puts the other guy in a hole so early. You remember Trey Mancini last year. He kind of got there like with everybody's sympathy vote. He was the 4th seed, I believe, and Alonso is the 5th seed. And Alonso goes out there and puts up like 20 home runs in the first round, and Mancini had nothing he could do. So, yeah. But the only guy that Alonso would go second to would be Schwarber in the contest this year.
Yeah, interesting little angle, that one. No, it's worth pointing out that this is at Dodger Stadium. If you want to factor that in to your handicaps, which I believe is a little.
I thought it was
more...
Wembley.
No, not that. Whatever that fiasco of a home run derby was a couple of weeks ago. You had to be a TikToker, Noah. You can get in there next year with your current TikTok experience. You'll be there as a content creator for all the young people. But I believe it's a bit more lefty friendly. I think is for the Dodger Stadium for the left-handed. So Seager might be in angling. I did spot of this parish, Sean Green was on a little YouTube short earlier on, and his pick was Seager at around about 8.5 to 1, I think. Little hot streak as well, Sean. He had the win with the Open yesterday, so he was flexing his muscles with Seager. But where we'll start here then is the first round matchup. So I'll let you boys go one at a time to take us through the first 4 games, and you can let us know what you think. So Munaf, we'll start with you. Take us through round 1. Who do you like and at what prices?
Yeah, I mean, the first round matchups, I mean, there's one that's heavily juiced with Kyle Schwarber as a minus 330, minus 330 or minus 340 favorite over Albert Pujols. I mean, it's a huge number, but it is there for a reason. I just don't see how Albert Pujols at 42 years old for 3 minutes will be able to compete with Kyle Schwarber, for the amount of home runs that he can hit in this contest. But we're talking offline. I guess it's just a fun little story to have Albert Pujols in the final season of his career in the home run derby. Obviously, I mean, if there was free money, it is coming out of tax here at minus 340. But Schwarber there. I'm kind of really intrigued with Julio Rodriguez at minus 150 over Corey Seager in the first round. And Julio Rodriguez, I think, we talked about this in the off or when we were doing the previews for the season, was that he was going to be one of the more popular up and coming players in the entire MLB, one of the young guys. And, he has 15 home runs already so far this season, and he does have some pop in his bat. I kind of like him to beat Corey Seager in the first round. Sorry, Sean. But that's one matchup I really do like. And again, Pete Alonso, I mean, if you're fading this guy at this point, I'm not sure that's the right move. Ronald Acuna, I think, is intriguing, but what we've seen from Pete Alonso in the last 2 home run derbies, it's very, very difficult to bet against him. So I'm kind of going chalky here in the first round at least. So I like Pete Alonso minus 180 over Acuna, and then Julio Rodriguez minus 150 over Corey Seager.
So Moon, after the minus 150, I've got here on my little book in front of me 10 to 11 on Rodriguez. So what, minus 105? So if you want to in the first round, Corey Seager v Rodriguez, Seager 4 to 5. So what, minus 120? And Rodriguez minus 105. So if you want to Venmo me $10,000 and I can stick it on for you over here, we don't have to worry about working for 6 months or so. We can take a bit of time off. I think it's. I'll go through the rest of the prices, or just, in fact, the other game that you picked out there. So I've got Schwarber at minus 300 with Pujols. He's 9 to 4, so plus 325. Does that fit in a little bit more with your book, or is that off as well?
I see minus 350 for Schwarber over on WinBet, so right around the same price, or at least the books that we're looking at. Yeah.
And the other 2 games, and maybe if Noah has anything, we've got Juan Soto at 8 to 13 with Jose Ramirez at 6 to 5. I'm going up, apart from saying Derby, I'm now giving you English odds as well. I'm trying to really British this episode up for everyone. 2 to 5 Pete Alonso and 7 to 4 Ronald Acuna Jr. Noah, same question to you. So first round matchups, what have you got?
Yeah, so what I'm looking at here is, one, I have not spent a whole lot of time looking at the odds, and I'm sort of overwhelmed at all the options that we can play here. It's actually kind of it's kind of wonderful with the amount that we are provided with for this little home run derby. But the matchups that I'm looking at is like, I like the Julio Rodriguez over Corey Seager as well. But at what point do we think that the crowd supports Seager and Pujols? And if they do, like heavily, is that more pressure or less pressure? What do you think?
Less. I don't think this is a pressure situation.
Yeah.
If you get beat, you shrug your shoulders and go off and have a beer. It's not a World Series game or something. You know what I mean? There's not an awful lot on the line here, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. So at what point do you think that Julio Rodriguez, the young star, wants to come out and make a point? And take
as much as everybody else, I think.
Okay. So that would be like my only emotional angles there. And some of these look kind of a little bit wider than I would feel like comfortable playing. I think that Pete Alonso, Ronald Acuna Jr. matchup is going to be closer than the matchup odds tell me, because if you're looking at total home runs, the second place person here is Ronald Acuna Jr. for player total home runs, I believe. I'm trying to pull this up. My computer's spinning because my Wi-Fi sucks. But yeah, I think it's no, I was looking at I don't remember what I was looking at, but Ronald Acuna Jr. was interestingly placed second in one of the props that I thought you would need to go the full tournament to win.
Is he not in the? Is it not the total? The distance, the longest. He's favourite to hit the longest home run in my book, so he might have been first or second in that list. Noah,
he might be. I'm just looking around to see if I can find whatever I was looking at there. But yeah.
You're right. It's I think that could be Alonso's trickiest game is getting past Acuna.
It was matchups in the finals, because the top 3 ones include Alonso, and then the fourth option has Ronald Acuna Jr. against Kyle Schwarber.
Which again, I think that backs up the point that I was just making, that you're really looking at one of these two to make the final. Should they come through this? Schwarber does beat Pujols, and he beats him relatively easy. I think I do like Seager. I'm going to go against you two with the Rodriguez pick. He's played at the stadium. He's having a power spike of a season. He's top 10% hard hit rate, and he's got a little lefty advantage there. Rodriguez will be fun, but I do think Seager will get that one done. Who else have we got in that first round? Soto will beat Ramirez, I think. And that's everybody done. So I've got Schwarber, Alonso, Seager, and Soto going through to the semi-finals. We'll get to our semi-finals and outright picks in a moment, once I've told you about Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform, millions of players, of which I am one, and I'm sure you are too. And they've added an over or under game, which is a bit of a game changer. You can pick your players in the sport that you want and pick your over or under props. Select your own stake, and you can win anything from 2 to 20 times that stake just by being right. You can play with all your friends in the chat box. You can copy the picks if one of them's got a hot hand and sweat it all out together. If you use the code sleeper.com/SGPMLB, Sleeper will match your deposit to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGPMLB to get your $100 matched bonus. So we've got a couple of first round picks each there. So into the semi-finals we go. Munaf, we'll come back to you. Who's making it out the semis, and then who's going to take it down outright?
Yeah, for me, I hate going with the favorite, but I think that there's I gotta have to go with Pete Alonso. I mean, for what this guy has been able to do over the last 2 home run derbies, respectively, going for a third title in about 4 years. I know we didn't have one in 2020 because of the pandemic, but I think it was 2019 and 2021 where he did win the home run derby. And he's been in so many home run derbies, I think, throughout his baseball career, whether it's been at a high school level, collegiate level, whatever the case might be. He's done exceptionally well. And I had to make sure, and I went back and looked at who was going to be throwing him the ball, and it is the same the bench coach that was with the Mets before he made his move over to the Washington Nationals. It's the same pitcher that he's had over the last 2 derbies. And again, he just gets into this rhythm, and you just see the comfort and the swag, I think we should say, that Pete Alonso has. So I hate going chalk here, but I like Pete Alonso to get a third title here, tying him with and Malcolm, I'm going to ask you this. I'm pretty sure that Noah probably already knows, but one other player has only won 3 home run derby titles. Who's the other guy?
Mark McGwire.
Who is the only guy? Who?
Mark McGwire?
No.
No idea.
Noah, you know, right? You're on mute.
I have a guess.
Go for it.
Prince Fielder?
No, I think it is Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, at least I'm pleased no, I didn't know. That makes me feel better.
Well, Munaf pins it on me, so now I'm thinking it's like a Tiger, and Prince Fielder had a spurt or a stint with us, so that's what I was thinking.
Was my guess worse than Noah's guess? Muna?
Yeah,
Prince
theoretically,
Fielder
yeah.
won at least one. I know that.
Yeah, he's won one. But yeah, I'm going with Pete Alonso. If you wanted me to pick a long shot here, I mean, not really a long shot, but another option. I think that if Ronald Acuna Jr. beats Pete Alonso in the first round, he has a chance to win it. But I think the odds are kind of reflecting that Pete Alonso obviously is that guy. I know I picked against Corey Seager, but at plus 950 with the reasons that you did lay out there, Malcolm, with the familiarity with Dodger Stadium, and just being around this ballpark and just having that low key power that he can get through. He's still a young guy. At plus 950, I don't hate that number either. But for me, I just got to go chalk with Pete Alonso.
Okay, so Noah, semi-final and an outright from you, please.
So for the semifinal on the left side of the bracket, I think I'm going complete chalk. I think it's going to be Schwarber and Soto. I think Soto's more of a pure hitter, though, and Kyle Schwarber has that launch angle type swing. And I think he's suited better for a home run derby. And I believe he was in a home run derby. It was like 2017 when he faced Bryce Harper, who won it. So he was a runner-up in this, so he has experience, I believe. Again, I didn't do any handicapping before this. I was just all MLB draft this weekend, but I believe Schwarber does have experience in the MLB home run derby. And then on the right side of the bracket, I have the rookie Julio Rodriguez taking on Pete Alonso. But Munaf kind of already has the handicap. It's like, why is Alonso plus 200? I texted you guys this before we jumped onto the podcast. It really feels like this thing should be minus money. He's won it in back-to-back years, and like Munaf said, he gets in such a good rhythm that he's literally up there at the plate bouncing around to the music when the ball is in the air 450 feet away from the plate. He's just bouncing there, waiting for that time clock to say, hey, coach, you can pitch the next ball. It just kind of gets ridiculous, and he's apparently practiced for this multiple times before the 2 home run derbies that he's won, and I don't doubt that he's already practicing for this one as well. So he doesn't have the biggest distance out of everybody, so I still don't doubt that he'd get the bonus times, but yeah, I think it's Pete Alonso's to lose again this year. And then if you're looking for an extra play from me, I think like Munaf said, it's on Acuna or Rodriguez. I'm not going to go over to Schwarber to win it. I like both the exit velocities that the young studs can bring from Alonso, Acuna, and J-Rod.
Okay, so double bubble so far for Alonso. My semi-final line, I've got Soto taking down Schwarber. I think Soto wants this as well. It's been a little bit of talk with the trade rumors and stuff, and he people saying that he might have a little point to prove. So Soto, I think, will be focused. I would like Seager against anybody else except Pete Alonso. I think he could take down any one of the others, but not Pistol Pete. So Alonso's going to take him down, which gives us an Alonso v Soto final. And it's my guy. I think the MLB home run derby is a different skill. Yeah, hitting home runs in MLB is all well and good. This is a different animal. It's a unique thing. And if you've demonstrated you can do it, fine. It's difficult to do it twice. If you've demonstrated you can do it twice, then I think that puts you in a great position. Genuinely, like, it's horses for courses. And Munaf's pointed out that he's got the same guy tossing to him. Noah just pointed out all the reasons why Alonso's going to go all the way. Yeah, so I agree with that. And I think Pete Alonso at 2-1. So I'm going to make it a team right here on Pete Alonso to take it down. I don't need to give you a second runner because I've already given you the winner. So that's just folly. We're going to get on to the some little exotics and player props ever so slightly. The place has been buzzing with baseball chat is the SGP and Discord channel. It was loads of fun for the golf over the weekend as well. So the new Discord server, which has replaced our Slack channel, the best place to interact and sweat all your bets with the SGP and crew at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord, and IP Vanish, one of our favorite sponsors here on the MLB Gambling Podcast. They will protect you more than using incognito mode, protecting your privacy. You'll be truly private and secure as IPVanish encrypts 100% of your data. So all your private details, communications, browsing history, etc. will be completely hidden from view, even your physical location. You can use it on unlimited devices, including your Fire Stick if you're streaming stuff. And IPVanish are offering 70% to our listeners with a 30-day money-back guarantee, the equivalent of getting 9 months for free. Dead easy to use. You'll be covered at the tap of a button. So take your privacy back with the brand rated 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot. Go to ipvanish.com/SGP. Use that promo code SGP to claim your 70% savings. That's ipvanish.com/SGP.
I have
yes.
I have an idea that what we can do for these props. We're at 26 minutes now. We're going great with the time. Do you want to do kind of like a lightning thing where we'll like hit them all and get like 2-second analysis on what you think?
If you want to lead it off, mate, me and Moonaf will jump in.
All right, I'm willing to read off a couple of these props, and then you guys can just give a quick answer, and we can run through maybe the whole book.
Yeah.
All right, I got a huge list in front of me. So Albert Pujols total Derby home runs. This total is set at 18.5 minus 110 both ways.
Under.
Moonaf's already talked me into the under and explained why. So yeah, next under.
I think
easy.
I'm on the under too. Corey Seager total Derby home runs 28.5 is the total. Under juiced at minus 115. Over minus 105.
Over because he wins that first game.
Yeah, if he wins that first round matchup, he'll get over this number. But I'll go under.
All right. Jose Ramirez total Derby home runs set at 19.5 minus 110 both ways. He goes against Soto in round 1.
Under.
I'm going to go over. I think this matchup between Soto and Ramirez might produce the most home runs between those two guys.
I think
first round.
I think I'm on the under for Seager. I didn't give a pick there. And then I think I'm going to go I like the over for J-Ram too. I think that one could be electric in the first round, and that's probably the best underdog possibility that I see. I think I went all chalk for the whole bracket. Juan Soto total Derby home runs. It's set at 33.5. He's the favorite to get to the left side or get through the semifinals on the left side. 33.5 minus 110 both ways on the under and over.
Has to be over.
Yeah, Juan Soto, I think that, I'm going to go over.
Yeah, I think that's over too. Julio Rodriguez, total Derby home runs set at 26.5. Corey Seager's was 28.5. Corey Seager's under was juiced at minus 115. J-Rod's over is juiced at minus 115. The under 26.5 is minus 105.
Lock up the under. He's going down.
I will go over.
I'm going to go over too. I think he gets to the second round. He might hit like 30 total and lose to Alonso there. Kyle Schwarber, total Derby home runs, 38.5. Juan Soto's at 33.5. Schwarber, 38.5, minus 110 both ways.
I like the over.
That's a photo finish for me. I'll take a pass.
I kind of like the over here just because that's 5 home runs in difference between Soto and Schwarber, and they're going to play each other in the semifinals, I think. Mm-hmm. Pete Alonso, also 38.5, right there with Schwarber, minus 110 both ways, 38.5 for Alonso.
Over, way over.
Yeah, I think he's over too. I think he's hit like 117 in his
He's hit 131.
131.
Yeah.
So that might be a lock. We'll come back to like maybe the favorite play. Write that one down. I kind of like that. Over 38.5 minus 110. Last one of the total home runs in the Derby or Darby. Ronald Acuna Jr. total Derby home runs 22.5 minus 110 both ways.
Under.
I think he's got to go over to try to beat Alonso, right? He's got to set that pace. He goes first.
Who is this? Ronald Acuna, you said? Total home runs?
Yeah.
What was the number?
It's 22.5. So can he get 23 against Alonso?
I think he has to. Like, if
I think he does
first,
too.
Right? Like,
yeah.
For you to beat Pete Alonso in the first round, you're gonna have to put up an astronomical number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over.
All righty. Longest home run for Pujols, 451.5 feet. 110 both ways.
Yeah, you said about 420, didn't you, Munaf?
Yeah, I would probably not. I mean, yeah, I already bet the unders.
I think I'm under 2 pools. Plus, I think under might be like a good bet just in the home run derby in general. I think a lot of the general public just watching the home run derby is going to want to bet a lot of overs. Corey Seager, longest home run, 467.5 feet, minus 110 both ways.
476?
67. 67.
Oh, give me the under.
I'll take the over there.
I'm going to go with the under on Seager as well. J-Ram, Jose Ramirez, 451.5 feet. He's tied with Pujols for the shortest home run, minus 110 both ways.
He doesn't hit it hard enough. I'll take the under.
I agree.
Yeah,
with you,
he has more of a finesse swing.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Yeah, give me the under, yeah.
Juan Soto, longest derby home run, 470.5. This is the third longest prop. 110 both ways.
This is Juan Soto, 470.
Yep.
Give me the over.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you.
I think this was lock territory.
Yeah, I think it's over too.
Yeah, I'm writing that down.
Okay. Julio Rodriguez, longest home run, 465.5, minus 110 both ways.
I'll take the over. He can
I like
smash
this
it.
over too.
Who was this? I'm sorry.
465.5, minus 110 both ways.
For Julio?
Rodriguez.
For
Yeah.
J. Ryan.
Yeah, give me the over.
Then we have Kyle Schwarber, over 477.5 feet. He's the second longest, minus 110 both ways.
Kyle Schwarber can hit it, man. And yeah, give me the over for Kyle.
Yeah, if he pisses on a ball, that's going 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
Team ride on that one.
All right. And then this guy has the longest prop, and it's not a guy, actually. It's a longest home run of the Derby, 491.5 feet. So Schwarber actually had the longest prop. 491.5, longest home run of the Derby. 110 both ways.
Over. I think there'll be a 500.
I think there should be two. I hope there's a 500.
Yeah, so I'm kind of looking at this list of the longest home run derby and I'm taking the top four.
That is sharp.
So I'm gonna take
sharp.
the top four out because it's Colorado and they're all
Okay.
above 500. So
Yeah,
if we
they all
go-
hit it to that chop house on the
Yeah.
third deck in right field.
So if we go to 5 to 9, it was in Miami and it was all Aaron Judge who hit 4 home runs over 500 feet.
Yeah,
And
he was
then-
hitting him to the statue.
Yeah, and then Stanton had one back in 2016 in San Diego, 497 feet. So we have some power guys. I'm gonna go over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those guys are all special talents in power.
I
Like,
think Schwarber or Juan Soto
monstrous.
can do it.
I don't know. I think I'm going to go the other way. I think I'm going under. I'm going to split it up there. Pete Alonso, longest home run. I don't know why this one's under the group home run prop. Pete Alonso's is 468.5, minus 110 both ways. He has the third longest prop.
I want to take the under on Alonso.
I think I like under too.
No, I'm
'Cause
happy
he's
to
more
go
of a
over.
machine.
I think he just it's free and easy, and he keeps his stamina. He
Yeah.
doesn't go all out on some of these swings. So I kind of like the under.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make a good point.
Player to hit the longest home run. Name your player. I'll give you the price.
I've already got this as one of my exotic bets to come later on, but I won't. Do you want it now? I can give it to you. It's
No, if you have it for later.
all right,
and
we'll
you
save it
planned
up.
Yeah, save that.
I'll go Juan Soto.
I'm gonna go Julio Rodriguez plus 800.
Okay. What's the number on Soto? He's probably the
Soto's plus
favorite, huh?
400.
Yeah.
Acuna is the favorite.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like
Acuna,
Soto.
It's Acuna, Schwarber, Soto, Alonso, Rodriguez, Seager, Pujols, Ramirez.
Yes,
Yep.
Soto right now since 2016 has the longest home run hit, but it was in Colorado again, 520 feet. I don't know how we calculate the adjustment from Colorado to LA, but I think Juan Soto he can piss on one like Noah said.
Ronald Acuna, longest home run, 481.5, minus 110 both ways.
under. I think Acuna's going to look after himself, coming back from the injury. I don't think he's going to go berserk.
That might be.
Yeah, I agree with
Might be
what
true.
Malcolm said.
Yeah, I like that angle. Derby specials. We have who's going to win the National League contestants minus 320 or American League plus 250.
That has to be National League.
That has to be National League. It's pretty juicy though, so
Yeah.
not sure if that's a smart bet. Total home runs hit in the Derby over 251.5 is minus 115. Under 251.5 minus 105.
Over.
Last year, I think this crushed the total.
Yeah, last year was like 300 plus,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was set around like 254, I think.
Yeah, I'm going over.
Yeah, my line's 250. So if you're saying 251, it's going to land right in the middle.
And if
one of
we
us will
get-
win and one of us will lose.
And if we get Pete Alonso, he's going to hit 117 himself and go off.
Yeah, take the over. It's more fun.
So this is actually exotic. This is it. Total Derby home runs hit by National League players, 163.5. So we have Schwarber, Alonso, Seager, Soto.
Seager's American League, right?
Yes, he's Rangers. My bad. I was
So
thinking
it's
Dodgers.
Alonso,
And
Acuna,
Pujols.
Soto, Schwarber. That's 4.
And Pujols.
Pujols.
That's 5. The
Yeah.
3 American League are J-Ram, Rodriguez, and
Seager.
Seager.
I would take
I've
the
got-
under on American League and go over on National.
I think the American League, there's a good chance. Well, Julio and Seager go up against each other, so you're immediately losing one of those guys. The
Yeah.
National League has a chance to move on in every one of their matchups.
Mm-hmm. I think that under for an American League is probably another lock territory.
Yeah, under 87.5. Okay, National League 163.5 minus 110 both ways.
We need the database computer noise. This will make my brain hurt. No, I know. We need the little beep, boop, 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 boop. I haven't got that.
That's hilarious.
What was
This
your
is too
question?
much for-
I'm sorry.
So the question is, I went go.
Or the
I
prop
can't
bet.
even remember the question.
The prop is 163.5 total Derby home runs hit by National League players.
Yeah, over.
Yeah, he's right.
I think
Three of
I
the-
think it's over.
three. They've got 3 of the 4 semi-finalists, so it's going over.
Yeah. Total swing offs over a half or under a half. Under is minus 130. Over is plus 105.
I mean, this is like
Over.
a total guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Heads
not
or
even priced
tails with one of
properly.
them juiced.
It's not even priced properly. Take
I'm,
the less money.
I'm gonna go with the over there. I agree with Munaf. Will the Derby distance record be broken? Yes, plus 1,600. No, minus 10,000.
No way.
I'll have a fiver on the minus 10,000, please.
All right.
Yeah, no.
And then we have the player. Oh, we already did that one. The highest exit velocity by a player.
I always
the
feel like you have to take the over on like every single one of the players.
You think so?
That's what they want you to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so take the under on every single one of the players. It's obvious. The clues are there, man.
What player has the highest exit velocity home run?
It's
Ever?
Soto. No, and is that one of the props?
Yeah, Soto's plus 550 to have the highest exit velocity home run.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Soto, I think.
Yeah. I'd probably have to go Soto as well.
Soto's
Or
solo
Kyle
prop.
Schwarber.
Yeah.
Soto's solo prop is tied for second fastest or highest, along with Julio Rodriguez, Pete Alonso, and then Schwarber, and then all of them are tied for first. Actually, I keep getting tricked up by this highest exit velocity by a player, and that's 1 in 12.5. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Schwarber on the exit velocity. I think he can do that one for sure. So Malcolm, what's your lock?
Okay, so I'll tell you what we'll do. I've got 3 or 4 that I've picked out, so you can throw any little exotics or any markets that you've fetched out. I've wrote down a few things here. Pete Alonso to win is my bet at 2-1, but as a lock, Alonso to make the final is 10-11, so minus 105. I think that is. in your money. And I've got him through going to the final against Soto. And yeah, just as a little bit of an insurance policy, I'll have the 2-1, but I'll take some of the 10-11 about Alonso to make the final. I think he's got a fairly not straightforward route through, but man, he's done it before. He's been there. He's got the T-shirt. So Alonso, if he does run out of steam in the final, then you're getting some 10-11 there on your safety net. I have a price of 11-2, so plus 650 on a Alonso Soto final matchup is one of my plays. I think that's a great price. I think they can plot their way through to the final. And at that point, you don't care who wins. And my third one, we've just touched on the market, is Juan Soto to hit the longest home run of the evening on 4-1. He's got incredible power. I think he makes the final, which gives him more opportunity. The other two things you need, the power and the opportunity, are the two things you need. So all about Pete Alonso, 2-1 to win, to make the final 10-11. Alonso and Soto final at 11-2. Soto to hit the longest bomb of the evening at 4-1. That is where my hard-earned money will be going. Munaf, give us your list.
Yeah, winner Pete Alonso. Again, I think that he's just going to get this done, and tie Ken Griffey Jr. for having 3 home run derby titles. So for my outright, 2-1 on Pete Alonso. Longest home run, Juan Soto, over 470.5 feet.
Love it.
He had 520 in Coors Field. So, obviously the adjustment there with the altitude and things like that. Give me also the over on Kyle Schwarber, 477.5 feet as well. I think that he's got some power in his bat. We've seen the way this guy hits home runs, and the ball just flies off of his bat. So I'll take the over on Kyle Schwarber as well. And then I think for my not ultimate lock, but for my lock, I'm going to go total home runs over 251.5 for the entire derby with all the players.
I like that one.
Captain Insano's been in the chat. He locked up an all-star break lead in the DGens Fantasy League this week, Captain Insano. Same pick as you there, Moon, for Insano, over 251.5, and he fancies Soto to take it down after a Soto Seager final. So good luck with those, even though you're wrong. Noah, what have you got?
So my lock, I'm going to go with the over on Pete Alonso's home runs. That's going to be my lock of the podcast. It's 38.5 minus 110. Like we said, he's hit 100 in both of these contests combined, I believe. And then I'm going to sprinkle plus 200 on him. I think I'm going to do a whole unit on that plus 200. And then I'm also going to put a quarter on J-Rod. I think that if there's a guy that wins this, it's going to be Julio Rodriguez. He's got the youth, the stamina, and he can hit the ball very hard. He's got one of the top exit velocities in this contest this year. And then into the longest home runs, I think I'm all over J-Rod in this whole derby. Over 465.5 minus 110. I also like the Kyle Schwarber over with you guys, 477.5 minus 110. And then I like that. I don't know where it's at again. I lost it, but I like everybody's home runs. I like that over. I think last year they hit, like we said, in the 300s. So, and then just a sprinkle as well, like maybe a nickel on Julio Rodriguez to have the highest exit velocity in the contest, and that'll be it for me.
Okay, well, there you go. If you can't find something out of all those, then maybe gambling isn't for you. So good luck, everybody. We look forward to it. Noah, are you planning on going to bed at any point in the near future?
No, I still got to finish hammering that. I still got to finish hammering this article out. I got like another couple of paragraphs to write. It'll be out in the early afternoon. I'm thinking around like 2:00. So I'll have it done at 1, go to bed at like 1:30, wake up for 6 for the derby time.
Well, I'll crank out a nap on your behalf and for the next couple of hours, mate. I'll do that for you.
Cheers.
Munaf, yeah, cheers. Munaf, what's happening the rest of the day? You're going to stay in the don't get too hot with the sun.
Yeah, staying inside. It's not that hot as you guys over there. You're a little soft with 93-degree temperature over there. But no, just some work to do for SGPN. Check out. I know not a lot of betting happening right now, but I know we still have WNBA, so check those guys out. Also the basketball tournament. I know Ryan is cranking out the daily daily articles on the website. So check those out for the basketball tournament if you need something definitely to bet on. But also Home Run Derby contest in the app. If you haven't already, make sure to get in there. $200 for the SGPN merch store. So definitely get into the contest only exclusively on the SGPN app.
What happened at Saratoga, Malcolm?
I don't know. I think obviously Insano done his brains by the looks of it, but I was off the grid at the weekend. I was in Worcester. Remember that place you can't pronounce? So yeah, I wasn't around to give any horse racing picks. So Insano's gone off on his own and is obviously a few quid lighter as a result. So cheers everyone. That was fun. I'm looking forward to. I'm going to try and watch this. I'm going to try and avoid the results and watch this as live when I get out of bed in the morning. So we'll see how we got on. But until then, we'll be back later in the week with some All-Star break shows. We'll recap the first half of the season, see how our season-long bets are getting on, and maybe try and fetch out some fancy prices for the second half of the season. So lots to look forward to. Cheers, Munaf. Cheers, Noah. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you down the road. Cheers.